In this video, we are going to talk about 10 secret facts about YouTube. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Let's start. Number 10. 45% of people use YouTube on a daily basis. According to a Pew Research Center research, nearly half of those who use YouTube watch a video at least once a day. A third checks in at least once every week. This level of utilization is comparable to that of other major social networking sites. However, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat are used more frequently, with 60 to 75% of people using them every day. Number 9. 20% of videos are switched off within 10 seconds. In recent years, there has been a lot of talk about how our smartphones and other connected devices are decreasing our attention spans, and YouTube activity seems to support this. In general, we turn off around a quarter of all YouTube videos before they reach the 10-second threshold. This is due to a variety of factors. You may have clicked the wrong link, for example, but a lot of it comes down to initial impressions. We click off a video without giving it a second thought if we aren't immediately impressed, or if we believe the video we've chosen isn't going to be good. Number 8. There are 57,000 years worth of content on YouTube. So you've decided to make a social media splash by sitting down and watching all of the YouTube stuff available. To generate some publicity, you'll post about it, blog about it, and contact the Guinness Book of World Records. You'd have to live for at least 57,000 years to accomplish this, and that's assuming no one uploads a single video between now and the time you finish watching, which is unlikely. This essentially means that if you sat down right now to view all of the stuff available and somehow managed to ensure your immortality, you would almost certainly never be able to complete your task. We all knew there was a lot of stuff, but how many of us realized how much there was? Number 7. YouTube is more popular than cable. Cable has climbed in price at a rate that much exceeds inflation over the last 10 to 20 years, making it disproportionately expensive for most individuals. As a result, a trend known as cord cutting has emerged, in which consumers forego cable in favor of online streaming. There's some debate about whether this is cheaper. There are now multiple streaming services, all of which charge you, on top of the rising cost of high-speed internet, but it certainly makes disgruntled cable customers, of which there are many, feel better about saying goodbye to the cable companies after so many years of being raked over the coals. Cord cutting is on the upswing these days, and YouTube is a big part of it. YouTube has a much greater audience than cable, which is bad news for the telecoms industry. Only time will tell whether this trend signals the end of cable television as we know it. Number 6. YouTube is the frequent target of censorship attempts. YouTube has the potential to be a vehicle for social change, and it doesn't take long to see that. Anyone can make a video about almost anything, and almost anyone can watch it. While most of us see this as one of the qualities that makes YouTube so valuable, other individuals perceive it as a threat, particularly those in positions of power who have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo and limiting debates that challenge the current order of things. As a result, YouTube is frequently one of the first sites that oppressive governments try to shut down in order to stifle political dissent. China is one of the movement's leaders, and they've taken moves to restrict Facebook and Google as well. However, Germany, which is generally regarded as a liberal country that values individual liberties, has been caught banning content, despite the fact that much of this content was blocked because it incited hatred, with many Nazi sympathizers, or because it violated copyright laws. Nonetheless, this is surprising. To make matters more interesting, Saudi Arabia, which blocks access to almost all social media sites, regulates what is broadcast on television, and has laws in place that make it difficult for women to leave the house without their husband's permission, allows unrestricted access to YouTube, which is one of the reasons why Saudi Arabia is one of the most YouTube-using countries. Number 5. YouTube is available in 98 different versions. YouTube's global appeal is one of the reasons it has been able to achieve such a high level. People can upload videos from anywhere in the world, and those movies can draw in viewers from all over the world. YouTube responded by producing localized versions of the site, seeing this as a crucial aspect of the site's popularity. YouTube's country-specific editions make it easier for users to find content that is more relevant to their needs. It will prioritize material created in a specific language, making it easier for YouTube content creators to reach the people who are most likely to respond to their work. As of this writing, there are 98 different YouTube versions available all across the world. Number 4. YouTube is a more popular search engine than Bing, Yahoo, and Ask. Whether YouTube is a search engine or a social media platform is a point of contention. Those who argue that it is a search engine utilize the fact that one must search for content to watch it to bolster their case, while those who argue that it is a social networking site point to the site's reliance on user-generated content to place it in the same category as Facebook and Instagram. But, for the sake of argument, let's pretend YouTube is a search engine. If that were the case, it would be the world's second most popular search engine, behind only, you guessed it, Google. This implies that Alphabet, the site's parent firm, owns the world's two most popular search engines. It's not an awful place to be. However, just because you don't think of YouTube as a search engine and instead think of it as a social media site doesn't mean it doesn't have a significant impact on today's culture. Number 3. Google bought YouTube for $1.65 billion just a year and a half after it launched. For others, the fact that YouTube is not an independently controlled firm may be one of the things you didn't know aspects of this truth. Instead, it is a subsidiary of Alphabet, a conglomerate that includes Google and over 200 other smaller businesses. Given how influential Google and YouTube are on the internet, it's no surprise that Alphabet is one of the most valuable corporations on the planet. Take a look at how the company has fared over the last decade or so. Those who are already familiar with YouTube's connection with Google may be interested to learn that it was purchased by Google for a stunning $1.65 billion just 18 months after it originally emerged on the web. This simply demonstrates how prepared the world was for streaming media to become a part of their daily life. The rise of Netflix, which occurred around the same time, around 2007, highlights what was missing from the digital world in the early 2000s even more. Number 2. PayPal indirectly helped fund YouTube from the start. This fact could be deceiving. PayPal was not involved in the creation of YouTube, at least not directly. Instead, PayPal's role was to hire the 3 individuals who would subsequently develop YouTube: Jawed Karim, Steve Chen, and Chad Hurley. Part of the site's seed money came from bonuses sent out by PayPal to these 3, and instead of spending it on a pool or a vacation, they invested it in the firm. Soon after, the site exploded in popularity, becoming one of the most popular and profitable websites on the planet. Number 1. YouTube was created with the intention of being a dating site. For the most part, YouTube came on the internet one day and we immediately began utilizing it. However, the fact that YouTube debuted the way it did reflects a significant shift in the site's initial aim. The majority of users are unaware that the site's original purpose was to serve as a dating platform. People would send in videos detailing who they were, their hobbies, loves, dislikes, and so on, and viewers who shared those interests may answer with a video of their own. However, co-founders Jawed Karim, Steve Chen, and Chad Hurley discovered quickly after starting this idea that individuals didn't actually want to upload videos of themselves for a dating service. It was too personal and, perhaps, a touch unsettling for the majority of singles' tastes. Tune in, hook up, the motto they coined, probably didn't help matters much, either. To entice people to join the cause, Karim, Chen, and Hurley used Craigslist to find people to post videos, a move that even they admit was risky, and they even offered women $20 if they loaded up a video. However, almost no one showed up, raising doubts about the viability of the website these 3 had begun to create. What do you think about our video? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications before you go. Thanks for watching.